bagels. Hey guys, I'm back in Vancouver and I was having a craving the other night for some bagels. So I made some bagels. These bagels are super easy, guys. And so I'm gonna show you how to make them. They're easy, they're breezy, they're chewy, they're delicious. Okay guys, this is what we're gonna do. Bagels, here we go. Get a bowl. If you have a stand mixer and a dough hook, great. But I'm gonna do it the hard way. It isn't really that hard, but it's a little dirty, so I'm gonna take my rings off. You should too. This is a very simple dough recipe. So what you're gonna wanna do is get some water. You want it to be hot, not scalding hot, warm, not too warm. So you want like between 105 and like 115 degrees. We're going to fill up one of these with some water at that temperature. While that's warming up, we want some sugar. Okay, just regular granulated sugar. And we want bread flour. Bread flour is really important to get that real good bagel texture. If you don't have bread flour, you can do it with all-purpose. It's still gonna work, but bread flour is the ultimate. You kind of need it. So get yourself some bread flour. Now you need warm water to activate the yeast, but obviously you don't want it too hot to kill the yeast. So that's why you wanna make sure that it's warm but not too hot. So you can just take like an instant read thermometer. I poke mine in, okay? I'm at 113 degrees. Bob's your uncle. We're gonna just pour a little bit in. I'm gonna say like, I don't know, like half a cup. You really don't need that much. We just need enough to activate the yeast. And then you want about 3 teaspoons of instant yeast. So it doesn't have to be instant yeast. And then we want some sugar. So I usually do like a tablespoon of sugar, and that's gonna help activate the yeast as well and give the bagels just a little bit of a sweet flavor. Okay, again, not really precise. You need some sugar, you need some yeast, you need some water. Now, we are going to let this sit until it starts to get frothy and foamy. It usually takes about 5-10 minutes. So once this is activated, I will show you the next step. We've got a frothy base here, and now we're going to add some of our bread flour. I'm just gonna get a cup. Now, for water, you probably want about a cup and a quarter. And for flour, approximately 3.5 cups. So also the amount of flour that you need and water depends also on climate and humidity. So really, if you can start gauging with more of like a feel and look, it's better than following a recipe. I never follow recipes, it's really terrible. Sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, we're gonna start by adding about 3 cups of flour. Oh, there's my other measuring cup, huh? So if you add too much flour, are you feeling like it's not coming together, then you can add some more water. So now we're gonna add some salt. You always wanna add salt. You don't wanna add the salt in with the yeast because they don't go well together, so you wanna wait until it's actually activated before you add your salt. And you want a couple pinches of salt, so throw it in there. Okay, and then we're just gonna slowly mix this up without getting flour. Again, if you have a stand mixer, this is a great time to use it with the dough hook. So once you start combining the flour, you'll begin to tell quite quickly whether you need more or not. So slowly just continue to add water. Again, like 1.25 cup is about that, but it depends. So I just like to slowly add water until it starts to come together and become a dough. And I like to keep the water that I'm adding, I like it to be warm. Okay, see, I added too much water. What am I gonna do, huh? We're going to knead our dough until it's nice and smooth. If you feel as you're kneading that it's still a little sticky, you can keep adding some flour. Knead the dough, knead the dough, knead the dough, knead the dough. Ooh, ooh. This is a nice texture, and we're going to grab our bowl. Okay, so that's our dough, and we're going to grease our bowl. You can also use olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever you want. In a bowl, cover it with saran wrap and let it double in size. We'll see you then. While your dough is resting, you can start with getting your toppings ready. I mean, you could do a multitude of different ones. So I typically do my version of an everything bagel. I do like a cheese and jalapeno, a plain cheese, but you could do really anything. You might as well just put whatever freaking topping you want on it, right? Once we are done with our toppings, we're going to get a pot of water started to boil. So that it's there and ready to go. Okay guys, so I have pushed my dough down, okay, and we're going to take a knife and we're gonna cut this into tennis ball size, okay? Try to make them as even as possible. You should have about 8. And then we're going to make these into round, smooth balls, as smooth as you can possibly make them. I like to just kind of push the dough up through my fingers to make a smooth ball. And then we're going to let these rest for about 10 minutes. Okay, see you in 10 minutes. So we've let these sit for 10 minutes. And now we are going to take one of your dough balls and you're gonna put fingers in some flour and you're gonna poke a hole with your fingers in the flour so they don't stick in the middle of your ball. And you're gonna lightly stretch, being careful not to mess up the shape too much, okay? Until you get like a nice little round like this. And then you're going to put it on your lined grease parchment paper, okay? So we're gonna continue to do that for all of them. Now you want the hole in the bagel to be a little wider than you would think, because as it rises again for another 10 minutes, and then once we boil them in water, it will expand and then you won't have a hole. So we're gonna continue going on. And while we're doing this, we need a pot of water boiling. I boiled one in the back. I'm gonna move it over here in a second. Also preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Okay, so we've let these bagels rest again for about 10 minutes and we've got water boiling here. You wanna delicately drop the bagels into the water, okay? Okay, and then they're going to start to cook in the water. And the longer you cook the bagels, the chewier of a bagel you're going to get. I like to do about 1 minute on each side. So you wanna cook for 1 minute and then flip them over and cook them again. And then we remove them and place them back on the parchment paper. Yum, I can't wait to eat the bagels. So we're gonna flip these over. We'll transfer them and then we'll continue until all of our bagels have been boiled. So just lightly remove them. Try to get as much of the water off the bagel. So we have our bagels. So you're gonna crack an egg, you're gonna mix it up, okay, and we're gonna generously put this over top of the bagel, an egg wash, okay? This is gonna give it a nice crust, so make sure you get it all over. It's also going to help as like an adhesive for our toppings so that our toppings kind of stay in place as we're doing those. So, okay, these are looking good. And then you basically want to top your bagels with whatever you feel like garnishing your bagels with. So if you want to do plain, you can just put the egg wash on and then that's it. I'm gonna do my 3 cheese with jalapeno. Don't be shy. You're gonna put quite a bit of cheese on, okay? And I wanna do a couple that have also some jalapenos on top. And then we're gonna do my version of an everything bagel, which was the onion, some minced garlic, and then we've got some black sesame seeds. Gonna heavily garnish with. These things are loaded, which is how I like them. And then you're going to transfer these over to a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. All right, and so we're gonna put these in the oven for about 20 minutes approximately. Keep an eye on them. Once they start to get nice and golden brown on the top, then you're likely safe to take them out. So let's put these in the oven. And we'll see you guys back here in about 20 minutes. Okay guys, look at how amazing these are. Oh yeah. These look awesome. They smell delicious, and you are going to want to dive right into them as soon as they're hot, but I promise you to at least wait a little bit because I have burned my mouth so many times trying to eat this. We're gonna let these cool for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to dive into one of these because they look bomb.com. So good. It's so hot, I can't eat it, but I want to. Oh yeah. Get a little butter. Ooh, super hot. Really good. Really good chew. You will not be disappointed with these bagels, I promise you. They're so easy to make. Don't buy them at the store, man. Make them at home. You have all the ingredients. These are my easy peasy New York style bagels. Thanks for watching, guys.